I want to talk about faith. Why is it that we don't see miracles occur the way we used to in biblical times? Does that mean that that God's source no longer performs those types of miracles? No, I don't believe that. What I do believe is that something has changed. I don't think that it's God that has changed. I believe it's God, universe is the same. What I believe is we've lost something. And in a lot of biblical information, and in a lot of religious information, a lot of people who should know about faith, they all talk about having faith in whatever you believe. So let's break that down. So you got to have faith. What is faith? Faith is a belief system within yourself that anything and all things are possible unto you by God, Creator. Now, let's look at some of the people who have faith. There's a lot of people in religions, a lot of people who go through a lot of ups and downs, trials, tribulations in this world, little difficulties, and what gets them through their day, what gets them through the years, is the faith that they have. So, how is it that they still don't see the miracles at the level of biblical times? I've been doing some research on this. See, I believe there's a formula to everything. I believe that there are different parts to a puzzle. Okay? So, like, if you want to be good with picking up or attracting women into your life, I've learned there are two big things that you have to have. If you develop these two big things, like strongly, you will start to generate a magnetic field, and this magnetic field will go out, and it will attract women. Subconsciously, the women will be attracted to you. A lot of these women won't even know why. I've seen a lot of gorgeous, drop-dead gorgeous looking women with men of all ages, sizes, colors, creed. And you know, when you look at them, you're like, wow, this a beautiful girl who could easily have any kind of man desire her is with this guy. A lot of times the guy doesn't have no money, no job, no nothing. A lot of times they do. So it has nothing to do with their sex, it has nothing to do with their belief or their size or all that stuff, even though all that stuff comes in as a factor of things for long term. But what really brings those women is this vibrational frequency, this attraction energy. Okay, so what are the two things? Normally I don't teach this to people, but what are the two things? One, you have to have absolute self-confidence. Problem with that, some people have the self-confidence, but it's not real. Okay, and women can pick that up. The other thing is that men will have self-confident, but it's not. It's more like an ego type, like a jerk, you know. Especially these guys who go to the gym, they bigger guys and they act like they're tough, and they're like, oh, I'm the shit. Girls are lucky to be with me. They have that mentality, and that's crap too. The kind of confidence I'm talking about is like self-love. Learning to be your authentic self, learning to know who and what you truly are, appreciate, love it, respect it, not needing of anything or anyone. You are complete, you're a whole in who and what you are. Authentic self. Those are the true authentic male, alpha male mentality. Okay, that is self-confident. When you have nothing to prove. I ain't worrying about if this girl likes me or not, don't matter. My life continues. So self-confidence. The other thing is sex appeal. When you have sex appeal, see, women are attracted to the male-female energy. That's why you see a lot of women who are attracted to beautiful women. They love beautiful women. Women love beautiful things. Women are attracted to beautiful things. So when they see a naturally beautiful woman, whether they acknowledge it or not, they find them attractive. Okay, they find them attractive, believe it or not. Okay, so that's one thing. But you also have to, women also are overly attracted to a real man. You know what I mean? That manly man. You know what I'm saying? That male energy. So you got the male female energy. So you want to basically have both male female energy, a balance of both. You have, in order to do that, you have to accept the female aspect of yourself, your female energy of yourself. You think you're like you're the shit tough guy, and that you got to be a tough guy. You can't be a girl. You can't have a feminine energy. Then you're kidding yourself. You have to have both in equal amounts. When you do that, a woman, that creates sex like a sex appeal, a balanced sexual energy within yourself, and women will go crazy for that. So those two are what you need. You need to know that you are the prize. You are the shit. That you're hot, you're sexy, you're loving. That if that if you was a girl, that you would want to do you. If you was gay, you would want to do you. That kind of mentality. And you have to be. You can't be like, oh, that's disgusting. No, you have to be accepting the fact that, yeah, I'm a good-looking motherfucker. I'm the shit. I'm the prize. Okay, I'm sexy as fuck. You got to be comfortable with your body, whether you're fat, skinny, tall, scarred up or not. Find yourself sexy. Feel good. Feel the sex appeal. And if you can really pull that off, and you pull off those two characteristic traits, how do you pull that off? When you pull it off, you see the results. Boom. That's it. That's how you know you pulled it off. You start to notice you attract more women without even doing anything. They would just pop out of the woodworks. Trust me, it works. Been there, done that. Moving into other things now. I'm trying to move on to more of the financial, attracting the finances, utilizing the same mentality, and it works. It works. Okay. So going back to what we were saying before, all right, about faith, which to me is much more important than the women or the money. Because if you have that, then you can have anything and everything. Because it's faith that, the key is faith that allows you to bring to you what your desire is. Okay? So faith, we spoke about previously, that alone, for some reason, that doesn't seem to it's great. It encourages. It's like the beginning aspect of it, but it's something missing. Why is things not occurring? Why are we not seeing more and more of the things that we want? Well, the other thing is that, and what I've noticed, and I think it's part of it, and we got to continue to go and apply, is I'm seeing people in this world who their belief system when it comes to trusting people, and they're in a relationship, you can't really expect anything from nobody. You can't, you have a partner, you love your partner, and you will love to give yourself to your partner, and but the truth of the matter is, that you really can't expect anything in return from your partner, because your partner can disappoint you. People can disappoint you. Circumstance, situations can disappoint you. So we're living in a time more and more than ever where you have high divorce rates. You have people cheating on each other, people doing all these things. So there's so much of non-trust and disbelief in a person's character that we don't have any expectations of anyone. And a lot of people I see as well don't even have expectations, in God himself. They don't have expectations of themselves either. And so they say, well, if I was supposed to have this, I would have been having it. If I was not supposed to have that, I would not have it. So the expectation of things is almost like everybody's either afraid of having expectations of getting hurt, because when they've been in relationships, or if they put their trust in someone, the expectation of that this person will help them, or this situation come out the way they want it, always disappointed them. So it's almost like we become fearful of having expectations. And like, we don't want to expect nothing from nobody. But here's the problem. When you practice something so much, you take on the characteristical traits of it. You see? So when you're practicing having no expectations in anything or anyone, you in turn starts to have no expectations from your own self. Okay? So why is that important? Well, there's a thing called the law of expectation. It says whatever you expect to happen is going to happen. Now, here's the thing. While like I said previously, a lot of people today in the society, within relationships, within their faith in God and stuff like that, don't expect certain things to happen. They're like, well, if it didn't happen, then it happened. That's because you didn't expect it. The problem is that they don't understand the law of expectation. The law of expectation states that whatever you're believing in the most that will occur, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna disappoint. It's kind of like when you like thinking, oh man, I know I'm probably not gonna get this job. I don't think I'm qualified for this job. And what happens? You don't get the job. You're getting what you're expecting, but you're expecting subconsciously rather than consciously. So this law is still in effect, and you're still getting what you, okay, are expecting, but you don't realize that you're applying that expectation. You don't think, oh, I'm expecting this, because you're talking, your words are saying that you're probably not gonna get it. Your words are talking disappointment. Your words are talking doubt. That's the expectation of the negative result. And so that's why you gotta be very cautious on how you think. You know, thinking is such a powerful overlooked thing. We don't give thinking the respect it really deserves. We are our creators and masters of our lives, and everybody's got their own story. The difference is, are you going to be one who is the head of your story, the lead of your story, or are you going to give that lead to someone else? Okay, so that's the other thing too. How you can have faith, but if you don't have expectation of a thing to come, then that's not the complete, it's not the wholeness of what I believe is to be faith. Like I said, this is still something I'm still moving into, but it's something I've noticed a lot. Why is it that this happens, that doesn't happen, and what is missing within what we believe, say we have faith in? And so it's important to ask these questions, and you'll get pieces and pieces and pieces. And so I went from faith to understanding of that to the next piece of expectations. You see, you have to become the person. You see, you can't expect nothing. First of all, you can't expect nothing from anyone outside. It's not it's no one's responsibility to provide you with the stimuli or desires or wants that you want from your life experience. You have to create what you want. So you have to become the person that if you say you're going to do something, or you put an expectation on yourself, that you know that you're going to accomplish it. Hold yourself accountable. It's going to be hard in the beginning, but just like anything else, it is. And then you practice and it gets better. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to put, you have to say this, I'm going to do what I got to do to hold myself to this expectation. When you do that, you practice that, you're basically you'll start to radiate expectation. You can't get something from someone or something outside of you if you yourself are unable to provide it internally. Remember, whatever you're getting right now externally is a mere reflection of who and what you are already internally. So if you want to be loved more and have loyalty from a relationship, then you be more loving. You be more what do you call that? So give more loyalty to yourself. Give those things to yourself. Practice those things to yourself. And then you will start to vibrate that, and you'll attract it more. You want to be loved unconditionally, then learn to love yourself unconditionally. And then you'll reflect that externally. If you want to have expectations of the things that you put out there and that they're going to come, miracles and stuff like that, then start putting the expectations within yourself. You have to develop these things. I don't make the laws. I'm just telling you how they work. Trying to help out in that area to explain how these things work and give the people the option, if they choose to follow, to change their life. Well, this is how you do it. These are the tools. These are the universal laws. And so practicing expectations for yourself, saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you say, it's going to get done. Why? Because I put that expectation on myself. I know I could depend on who and what I am. Become that person. Become that person. I dare you to dare yourself to become that person, to hold yourself accountable, to be that kind of person at that level. That's spectacular, man. That's a hell of a person you're going to be. And then people will see that. People will see that. You don't have to give, you don't have to be that way with people. Okay? Because you want to be more like that for yourself. If you don't want people to expect you to be a certain way. No, that's for yourself. When you're like that with people, remember, they can change things. You come across and people are like, well, I expect it's got to be like this, or he's predictable. They call it the predictability. I'm not talking about using it for that purpose. I'm talking about using it so that you are holding your, remember, if you can't have any expectations on anything outside of you, that's the rule. So hold that rule. Don't expect anything from outside of you. Expect everything from inside of you. If you expect something from inside of you, God and universe is inside of you, then know that as you continue to practice the development of expectation from yourself, which is God inside of you, that you're going to be able to say, oh, this is going to happen because this is what I expect, because I have the faith. And because I have the faith, I expect this from the faith, because this is what the word says. These are what the universal law says. So I'm believing in these. So therefore, because I believe, which is to have faith, then I'm going to also expect the results. And you always want to respect the results of either equal to what you're expecting or greater than. Have to give that detachment of freedom to God universe and say, you know what, God, I expect this because it's God universe, and what God anything and everything that I ask God universe is unlimited. There's no limits. So everything and everything is possible. So I have expectation that what I ask for is going to be fulfilled unto me. Okay, and then he said, I have my expectation that it's going to be equal to or greater than what I asked for. I honestly believe this is a huge factor that has been missing in the miracle factor of our lives. And you got to also realize that a miracle may be getting a job that you never thought you would get. There are all kinds of types of miracles. A miracle is basically what you believe it to be. Miracle is not just flying in walking on in the water or being instantly healed. A miracle would be in so many different things. Okay, but that's the key, right? This is what we're talking about. It's what you choose it to be. Is what you choose it to be. You see, why do I say expectation is part of the faith factor? Well, like I said, it really took me a while to really look deep into it. I mean, if somebody else out there knows about this, cool, that's great. Let's share it more, right? But I don't see many people sharing this. So I had to go into the ancient writings and stuff like that and look at some of these information. But what you want to talk about is when you look at faith and you look at the old, let's say a lot of biblical. A lot of people said, well, okay, I have faith that I'm gonna receive this healing and whatnot. And then they will go and they'll take the physical action, and then they'll either jump into the water, or they'll touch a stone, or if you believe in Jesus, they'll touch the edge of his robe, because there's so many people surrounding him, and they're like, well, if I just touch his robe, I'll be healed. So it's according to what you believe, and then the expectation that when you do the steps that you need to do, that it's gonna happen. So that expectation is so important. Is part of the whole process of allowing. Okay, to me, faith, expectation, the universal laws are all part of the bigger picture. And that bigger picture is, and you probably heard me talk about this in other videos, is I don't believe in manifestation. I believe that I mean, I use the word to help certain, to help people understand what I'm talking about in certain conversations. But I believe that everything that you could ever hope for and wish already exists. I believe Einstein was right and partially right in his theory of multiple realities existing within this same time and space. I believe that every time you make a decision, you phase in and out of a different reality. So if you say, oh, I'm gonna drink, that reality is that now you're phasing into you're phasing in and out of the reality that you're only drinking for fun. And then also there's another reality where you continue to drink and you became an alcoholic, which, if you know how many people have become alcoholics, how their whole life gets affected in so many different ways. Lose friends, lose jobs. I mean, it's just, it's a different life, or becoming a drug addict or so on. So every time you're making a decision, you're phasing in and out of the different realities. When you make a finite decision, that's your anchor. That finite decision is your anchor to that reality that you've chosen to exist in. Okay? So if in a reality you're poor, let's say your current reality you're poor, and then something happens to you that you make a finite decision, you say, I don't know how, but never ever again would I live like this. Maybe you saw your child live, in need, and you're like, never again will my child have to need. And all of a sudden something happens, and then the next 5-6 years or something, just like a big explosion happens. The next thing you know, you're a very successful, wealthy individual, and based off that finite decision, you was able to you was phasing in and out, and you finally locked in to that existence of yourself, where you were wealthy, and you no longer was in that situation of the needy mentality, or the lack of mentality. Okay, so all of those universal laws are part of the law of allowing. And I believe that the law of allowing is this, that when you totally let go, let God, let universe, utilizing, but that, it's easier said than done. You have to conquer the faculties of your mind. You utilize the universal laws to help you develop the proper mentality, the proper strength of mind, so that you can finally be able to do that, develop that mind that you can allow totally and absolutely, no ego, no trying to control anything, just allow. And then when you do that, what God or universe has already created for you, the best that God already has created for you, based off what your true deep down desires are, which a lot of us don't even know what they are because they're subconscious, but your true deep down desire, which is your true path, then that's what God is able to give or bring to you, because he already created, he already separated. And then at that point, you're able to accept or allow it to flow into your existence, because now you're accepting the fact that a life that is beyond anything you could ever imagine has always existed for you. And a lot of us, especially coming from difficult backgrounds, find it difficulty, have the difficulty of believing that that is possible. And that's because, and this beliefs creates blocks and separation from allowing the full, absolute, glorious reality that God universe has already given to us. And so we are the ones that, we are the separators of our true paths, of our true destiny. It is not God universe, it is us. And that's the other thing too. When people hear people such as myself speaking like this, we're like, nah, that's a lot of nonsense. That's a lot of crap. Life just sucks, or God doesn't like me, blah, blah, blah. And by doing that, you're basically giving in to the fact that you're saying, yes, I'm choosing to believe not what Raymond is saying, and I don't want to believe in that, I don't want to take responsibility of that. That seems too easy. I'm gonna, I feel like this. I'm living like this, and I have a lack of money and lack of work, blah blah blah. And this is my reality. So because this is my reality, this is what it's got to be. But what you don't realize is that you making that choice, you're choosing to continue that reality. You're choosing to give up your power in the fact that you can recreate your reality into a life that goes beyond anything you could ever imagine. Until you realize that, you're going to be like the guy or the girl or the person who doesn't believe that they have a problem. That's why in AAA, Alcoholics Anonymous, one of the first things is to accept the fact that you have a problem. You can't get help from anyone outside unless you accept the fact you have a problem. And that's important because in reality, those people, they could be there for you, but the moment you accept you have a problem is the moment you say, okay, I'm choosing to help myself to change. So you're choosing to change. No one can choose it for you. No family intervention can do that. You have to choose to accept your faults, where you're at, what's going on with your life right now that you probably don't like, and then say, okay, I own this. Cool. This is where I'm at. Cool. Maybe I don't get the job that I don't want. That's cool. Maybe I don't have the relationship that I want. That's cool. I understand that. But you know what? I'm going to choose to use my power of choice to change it. To change it. That's the only way you're going to get out of it, is to learn the universal laws, utilize the mindset, okay? Which is the same mentality that you see entrepreneurs, philanthropists that have been using for centuries. You have to develop that mentality, that way of thinking differently. When you start to learn to think differently is when you start to see things differently, and is when you start to make different choices and you get different results. Sounds simple? It is. Sounds difficult? It is. It's a paradox. If you believe it is, it is. If you believe it's not, it's not. Okay? And at the end of the day, it comes down to, what do you choose to believe? And if you can hold on to that choice, whether good or positive, and in your case, I hope and wish the best that it is a good, then if you choose that it's a good, it's going to be a good future, an amazing future, spectacular future. And if you hold on to that and you believe it more than anything else externally, and don't let no one deter you from that, I promise you, your life will change. Your life will be so much better. Your life will be spectacular, and be humble about it. Be humble about it. A lot of people, they have a lot of changes in their lives. They apply the same mentality, and they have a lot of changes in their lives, and they run around saying, well, I did this, or I did that, or look at all this money I got now, or look at, okay, cool, you got that. It's not about those things are great, and some people, they need to see that, but a good teacher shouldn't feel like they need to flaunt their success. Let the energy, the frequency from you, people will see it. People will see it. Let that come out. Let that love, let that energy of light come out. It's an old saying, those who have eyes, let them see. Those who can hear, let them hear. The ones that know what we're talking about here will know that, yeah, this person knows what he's talking about. And my hope is that with this information, it'll get a lot of people moving in the direction that they want. It'll get people hungry to know that they can make a difference in their lives. Because you can. As always, is Ray. Love and peace.